What's up, guys? This is Johnny Tacos here, and we have a great show today. We have all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. We have the band Take. And if you're into heavy music, you cannot get any more heavier than this band. And today, we're going to start with Trapped Within, and then we'll talk with the band Take, and then we'll be on the take with more of the great music. So here we go. Rock and roll, baby.
The earth cries out for your glory. When will I face my sin? So trapped within. When will I fight my sin down on my knees
Radio Town.
This is Pathos from Symphony
Hi,
of
this
Heaven,
is
and you
Randy
are
Rose.
listening to the Johnny Taco
Hey, what's
Show.
up, everybody? This is Paul McCoy from the band 12 Stones, and you're listening to the Johnny Taco
This is
Show.
Sloths in a Bucket on Johnny Taco Show.
Hey, this is Sergio Pollock from A Vespertine Rising.
Hey guys, this is Jeremy Sims from With Blood Comes Cleansing. You're listening to the Johnny Taco Show.
This is Patrick from Ritual Servant, and you're listening to...
Welcome to the Johnny Taco Show.
Has landed.
What's up? This is Johnny Tacos here with another exciting and apparently a different voice, because this is not the true tacos. This is the clone Johnny Tacos 2.0 with the code of the century. But anyways, I got John here from Take. Hey, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, man. Your voice sounds incredibly deep. It's awesome.
Maybe I should just hit the road with my music. So.
Exactly.
Get a little typo negative on people.
There you go. Perfect.
So where are y'all from? Where's the band from?
We're actually we're located in Las Vegas with one of our guitar players in Salt Lake City. So we're based out of Vegas right now, and have been since 2003.
So it's been like a satellite band, right? Do y'all meet up together?
So everybody lives here except for our main writer, and he'll actually send tracks to our producer, and then the producer will kind of fine tune them, and then we'll get the rest of the band to contribute and do live drums around those tracks. And we actually never write anything together. We kind of just sit in the studio with the producer and tweak things as we go. But so he sends stuff over. It's I actually like this process. I do miss kind of jamming live, but I like the process of being able to do it on our own time.
Well, it's a cool thing, this technology we have, where we can have people from all over the world make like one great song together.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It makes it so it's possible. Once our guitar player moved to Salt Lake City, I honestly thought that was it, and now it's possible to write from anywhere.
And with all that, you still have the passion there, the music's there, and even if the drummer's a little off a step, you can just move it over on the sound wave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this next album that's coming out sometime next year, it's going to have 10 songs, and this is the first album we've done with live drums. The last album we had was programmed. We didn't actually have a drummer at that time, so our producer is programmed, and you'll be able to tell a big difference. But we went over across town to do the drums live at the old, I think he was the old drummer or somebody for Air Supply, which was kind of cool, hearing like stories from his touring days and stuff.
And have y'all met together and just went out to tour?
So this group has never toured together. No, I mean, that's something that we would love to be able to do. But being as I'm 40, a couple of guys are in their late 30s. Our drummer is actually 23, so he's raring to go, but trying to match up all of our schedules and everything. I think we could do it if the right situation came up, but we all have families and stuff. So we do want to tour. So please, if anybody wants to take us on a tour, we'll do it, but it's got to be the right situation. So
how did the band come along? How did the name, just resin off the tip of your tongue?
If I could do it all over again, I would not name the band Take, because like I said, we started in 2003 and social media just really wasn't a thing back then. So when you look up Take, it is very difficult to find. I would have picked a different name, but that was basically our original drummer said, "Hey, how about Take?" We were like, "Okay, cool. I guess that sounds kind of neat." And just went for it. It's never really had like a super meaning to it. So there's nothing really, really cool except for, hey, he just came up with it and we liked it. We threw a bunch of stupid names out there and this one stuck.
So you were kind of on the take with Take.
Exactly. Yeah. I look, if there's new bands starting out, name yourself something unique so it's super easy to find. Because when you type in Take in Spotify, we won't come up. You have to type in Take and like one of the song names to find us.
Yeah, or you'll watch a bunch of Leslie Nielsen memes.
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
So, describe your music to some of the fans, some of the new listeners that are itching to know more about Take. They want to be on the Take.
Yeah. Exactly. I like it. It is a very diverse sound. We explore a different genre of heavy with every song that we put out. So on the new album, each song that you listen to, you're going to be like, oh, that has influences from Turnstile. That has influences from Slipknot. That has influences from Rage Against the Machine. So I don't look, if you're a band and every single song sounds the same and it's one good long song, cool. But we've always been a band that's like, we want to change it up. We want to test out different genres and see how far we can push our abilities to be able to write a song outside of the box. So you're going to hear everything. You're going to hear, our hope is once you get to the end of the album, you're like, wow, that was a cool mix of different genres. It's
like a goulash of music.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah, like we're a smorgasbord.
And you said it started out in 2003. Before that, did you ever tell a little backstory about you?
Yeah. So our main guitar player and I lived in Idaho Falls, Idaho. We're in this terribly crappy high school band called Trapped Within. And I think because we were in Idaho, there wasn't many things going on. So we had like a big following and we thought we were really cool. So once we moved to Las Vegas, we're like, hey, we can duplicate that and, play shows and have a huge following. And that wasn't how it started. We were playing for nobody. We were playing for literal bars that were empty, except for the guy coming in doing a drug deal in the back of the bar with the bartender. So we were playing for no one. And we just kept on plugging away. And I'm not gonna sit here and say like, hey, we're super popular, super famous, but we've hopefully built some sort of a following over the years, and it's cool to see different generations come through the scene as well. Like, one generation falls off, the next generation comes up.
And that's the way with the band too, right? Because you had people come in and they leave. It's just like a family, people come, they get married, they move off.
They move out of the house. Yeah.
Yeah. They move out. Get out. Oh boy, that just sounds worse.
No, that sounded good. We've probably had, dude, I did a calculation the other day. I think we've had like 25 different band members. But we've had this lineup right now for the last couple of years, and this is a very, very talented lineup. And I'm excited for people to see us live.
So who's all in it?
All right. So when our guitar player from Salt Lake City comes down, which is half the shows, his name is Trent. We have drummer Michael. We have other guitar player Pablo, other guitar player Corey, and bass player Pedro. So we have like a Slipknot style band when all three guitar players play. But most of the time it's just Pablo and Corey playing guitar at shows. But when all three of them come, it's so freaking heavy. It's so loud. It's awesome.
So making that move to Las Vegas, that's kind of got a big step from being in Idaho.
Yeah, that was an eye opener, man. Like I said, the first few shows, especially at bars, we played for nobody. And I've told on other interviews, I've told this story, but the first all ages show that we played, the kids actually sat down on the floor and faced away from us because I guess we weren't part of the clique. We weren't part of the scene at that point. So we really had to, we played for probably 2 years before we really got accepted into like the hardcore scene. And kids started like dancing and moshing for us. But before that, man, it was rough. We really thought we were going to show up and be like, oh, we're great. But no, it was a combination of sucky music at the first and just, not being in the scene. You really have to work. You have to prove yourself, Yeah.
And it's just like a clique, like in high school, you have to find that clique that you're in to actually get some kind of fan base growing.
Yeah, you have to build relationships. You can't just walk in and think you're going to own the scene. You have to build relationships. You have to show up to shows. You have to support. It takes work on your end for a band to start building a following in a scene. You can't just show up and just think you're going to have 200, 300 kids there. You got to go in and work.
Well, it's always good to have that kind of mindset. Like, yeah, I want 300 people here, 400 people here, but don't feel bad when you're only singing to a handful of people, because that handful of people, you have to sing to them as you were singing to an arena. Because what it does is word of mouth goes through and say, hey, you need to check out this band, and then you start getting more, because you could go out and excuse me, my throat again. You could go out and promote yourself. You can buy advertisement. You can do all this stuff, but at the end of the day, you don't get more recognition than with word of mouth than you do with ever pushing anything through commercial.
Exactly. And you never know who is going to be there. That one or two people could be somebody very important that could pass your name on to somebody even more important. And then the next thing you know, you're touring with, a bigger band, or you're signed to a label that can actually distribute your music. So I always tell bands, I'm like, man, if it's just one person at the show, even if it's zero, man, just go all out. If you really enjoy your music, you're going to go crazy, even if there's one person there or 1,000 people there. And that's what we do. We leave everything we possibly can on that stage every single show.
And plus, you're playing loud. It goes through the doors outside. Somebody can listen to it. It's like, oh yeah, let's go in there.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. That's the hope, man, is that you're blasting it so loud that the neighbors are like, wait, what is this? This is cool.
And I was reading on your Facebook, it's like, you either love us or not. Either way, we love you. So, that's,
yes,
we're going to kill you with kindness.
Yeah. I say a lot, like, during our shows, you might get punched or kicked by me. But I honestly, I love each and every one that comes to our shows. And I really do. Like, after the shows, like, it's hugs and it's appreciation, because I never thought somebody would really like our music. And then the reason I say, like, hey, you'll either love us or hate us, is because, we play a style of music that not many people play, where we're trying to push the genre boundaries. It's not just like straight beatdown or straight deathcore or straight metal. It's a bunch. So, some people might not like it, but we still love you.
Hey, for people who go out there and get all science with it and just try to mix it up and just change genders, you would never have bands like Slipknot or bands like Mudvayne or Bring the Horizon. Right. You would never have bands like that if you stick to one recipe.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Boy, I'm talking about food.
Bands need to bands need to push outside of the box. I mean, if you want to stand out, you have to actually stand out. You can't just follow in line. And so, like the bands you just mentioned, like, they all push the envelope, and so they stand out. Whereas I see a lot of bands in like local scenes just try to copy bigger bands. Don't take something from them, but don't just copy them directly, or you're not going to stand out.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of bands that sound like other bands, and I go on Octane, and I'll go through and just listen to music, and I'm like, is that Fever 666, or is that or was it Fever 333? I don't know they come up with some weird names.
One of them.
Yeah. Or like they have Sleep Token, then they have Sleep Theory, and then you're like, everything just kind of melds together. You want to stick out.
Yes, exactly.
Especially if you're in any kind of creativity, you need to be that person that just pushes out forward that, hey, look, I'm the guy with the red hat and the yellow bill. You know, I'm the one sticking out in the whole sea of black shirts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of my my persona now that I turned 40 is I'm really embracing the middle-aged white dad. So you'll see me at shows like I'm growing out the beard. I'm gonna have my Hulk Hogan like Fu Manchu for the next show, and then I'll have my bald what's left of my hair shaved into like a horseshoe, and then I have these American flag suspenders. And then I'll have a shirt tucked into like my jean shorts with my New Balances and my white socks pulled up. So I think that's going to be my look going forward, is just to kind of tongue in cheek it to my dad who dressed that way. And I always gave him a hard time. And I'm like, hey, I'm that age now. Let's do it.
So you're going to be the Fred Durst of Take.
No, actually, I started this before Fred Durst did his dad vibe. So Fred, you need to give me some royalties, dude.
Get off of that tower in Jacksonville, Florida. Come on, Fred.
Dude. You know what though? His last outfit was awesome though. The cowboy look actually works pretty well for him.
You know, it's weird seeing him in a cowboy outfit, and then you see Les over there dressed up like Les.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. I love Limp Bizkit, so I totally dig it.
Yeah, I remember days because I actually lived in Florida around that that where where he lived in Jacksonville, like North Jacksonville. Right. He used to be a tattoo artist, so but that was many years ago. Man, I don't even show my age. I'm 47 now.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I grew up in South Florida, so that's cool to hear you were in Florida for a little bit.
Yeah, I lived over there in Titusville. Titusville, I want to say Cocoa Beach area. So
okay. Yeah. Well, I want to give a shout out to Florida, Georgia, Idaho, and Nevada, because that's where I've lived. So love everyone there and everyone else, but you guys especially.
See, you were a journeyman.
I was, yeah. My dad worked for the government, so it was just follow him around. Yep.
It's a bunch of hush.
Yeah, he worked for the government. That's as much as I can tell you. So we can't tell you anything else.
Yes.
Which he doesn't love some of the anti-government lyrics, but I'm in charge of myself. You can't be in charge of me. So
he goes, I know where you live and I know what blood type you are.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you got some new music out. You have a couple of songs that we're going to listen to after the interview. The first one is Heaven or Hell. That one sounds like old school kind of Striper kind of feel, that Heaven or Hell kind of thing.
So it is definitely from the very beginning to the very end, it is a punch you in the mouth punk hardcore with a nice thick breakdown at the end. I mean, this is a song that should be gripping you, like grabbing your testicles, or if you don't have testicles, whatever else you have, and just yanking you as hard as possible. This is a song. This is one of our singles that we will release at some point, and we have a music video for it too. That's really fun.
And what is the song about? Is it just hardcore?
It's talking about like it's mostly talking about like life choices and choosing between like right or wrong. I explore a lot of religious takes. I explore a lot of war and political takes, and I'm throwing my name in there without even knowing it. Like, ooh, Take. Actually, that's a good band name now. So this is just exploring like the right or wrong. Like, am I going to be picking heaven or hell in this circumstance? And just asking people like, hey, with all the bad that's in the world, like, should we be following that example, or should we be setting a better example?
Yeah. And that's what we need to do, is set a better example, because the more and more we fight amongst ourselves, the more that we start isolating and alienating each other. And I really think this it really got worse when the whole COVID hit, because everybody was in their own personal bubbles and they started thinking. And when you get a bunch of people that are thinking negativity, it starts spreading
Right.
out like a virus.
Yeah.
But we need.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
We really try to, because I mean, we're going to challenge our listeners with some of the lyrics that we talk about, and I tell people all the time, I'm like, we're not going to agree on everything, but as long as we can have a conversation where both sides actually listen and aren't just yelling at each other, because that's what you see now. It's like the left, the right, they just yell at each other. Whereas we need to come together and actually, if we want to solve something, then we need to come together and have an actual in-depth conversation of what needs to be done rather than just sitting there fighting. So that's kind of what we're trying to do is, hey, we're going to challenge you with what we're saying, but if you don't agree with it, cool. Like, we still love you and let's have a conversation about it.
Yeah. And you know what, we're the monks of fighting and all that. People tend to forget the beauty of compassion and friendship. Because people are so torn apart, and just thinking about it, like when Jesus comes back, and we're fighting all that, how is that going to look?
Right. Exactly. Dude, that's one of those things that really I'm pushing with the lyrics too. It's like, okay, like you don't know when that moment's going to happen. What do you want to be caught doing? And so hopefully our listeners will be challenged and hopefully they'll really say, hey, even though I've been ingrained to think this way, I'm going to listen to these lyrics and I'm going to at least start stepping in that direction to see what the author's, talking about, where he's coming from. So it's just, I really just want the listeners to start coming together and having a discussion, whether it's about our faith or, our political leanings and that, whatever. But I can go on rants forever. But anyways, just know that I love you. So if you're a believer, I love you. If you're a non-believer, I love you. And if you have questions about anything, please message us on our Instagram.
So, do you have a merch place, a place where they can help you support your band? You have a website?
Yeah. So we actually just got, a website up and I'm hoping that I can get this right off the top of my head. It's 72ENT 72ENT.com, I think is the one. But there's going to be a link on our Instagram. So if you just go to Take Band LV on our Instagram, there'll be a link there. And the reason I don't remember is because we just got it up, but it's got a ton of merch that we've never sold before.
All right. Yeah. Cause I'm trying to check it out. Looks like there's a Christian band's, what is that, merch, CMB or CBM?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, you can go onto that one as well, which is also awesome. But we actually just set up our own website and it's not on the link tree yet. I'm going to have to add it to it here in the next couple of days, but we were going to do an official launch, I think next week. But yeah, so keep checking our Instagram.
All right. And these are, the two songs that we're going to be playing, today is from your new EP, right? Or coming
so
up.
You have Heaven or Hell, and then
I have Trapped Within.
As you're trying not to cough into the mic, yeah, Trapped Within. Yep, both off of the new EP. Those are going to be our two singles that we're going to release first. Both have music videos. One's a live music video of people just going nuts, and then the other one is a throwback to like a '90s music video, which talks about like bullying. So it's fun, but it's also like pretty serious at the same time. Yeah,
because you do music that really hits the nerves of America, where bullying is hard nowadays. It's even harder because we have the internet, and now you're not just bullying one person at school where they can actually, when they're away from school, they don't have to worry about it. But now you got social media where everybody in the known world would know, and it's getting worse.
Yeah, you can't escape it. It's sad. I am so thankful I didn't have to go through middle school and high school with the social media that these kids have these days. Yeah, I would have been torn apart. It would have been awful.
Yeah, and it just hurts. It hurts because these kids, they have no outcome. They have no outlook, but they do. You know, you can go to a church, and even some of the churches, they're still bullying there.
Yeah, and that's the interest. I like that you bring that up because the church that I go to actually lets us do, and my other band, the Forerunner, they let us do like hardcore hymn nights once or twice a year, where we play super heavy music, but it's all hymns. And so they've actually gotten behind that, where I've seen other churches that are like, no, that's satanic. You can't play that here. And I'm like, okay, well, if you knew our hearts and how much we actually love Jesus, like, you would be like, okay, yeah, we want you. But, you know, if you're at a church who kicks you out because of the music you listen to, or because maybe, you know, you have like, you dress all in black, I don't know. Honestly, don't give up on Jesus because of that. Just find another way to fellowship, find another church to fellowship at, because there's a lot of these churches who are just really stuck up, like, or they're stuck in like, hey, you can't look this way, you can't act this way. And yeah, like, Christ does need to change us, but I don't think listening to heavy Christian music is going to hurt your walk, you know? So
Yeah,
I don't know. That's just my 2 cents, but I'm just thankful and blessed that we have a church that lets us play.
Well, one of the pastors that I've come to listen to one time said, you know, if you see a person, like a woman dressed in provocative clothes that are coming to church, and you shut her out, how do you know that woman is not trying to change her ways, and that was the only clothes she ever had?
Yeah.
And then you just shut the door,
sure.
which gives her the, you know, set in her mind, all right, well, church, you know, I'm not worthy of God's presence. I'm not worthy of Jesus. And then it just gets worse. So you open your heart to everybody. You love everybody, because
Can you imagine if Jesus was like, I'm not going to eat with the tax collectors, I'm not going to like talk to the adulteress, you know, like, if he just said, oh, you have too much sin, I can't help you. You're like, can you imagine that? That's what some of these churches tell these people that walk through the doors, like, you're too sinful, I can't help you. And I'm like, no, that's not it. Like, yeah, if somebody's coming in and causing a disruption at your service, then yeah, we need to have a discussion. But if somebody just comes in off the streets, we get a ton of homeless people that come to our church off the streets. And yeah, they look homeless. But it's the first thing we're doing is offering them food. We're offering them fellowship, and hey, come on in. We're going to love on you. It doesn't matter what you look like and smell like, you know, just come on in.
Yeah, because you have to show compassion. That's what Jesus wanted you to do. He wanted you to show compassion for your brothers and sisters. And just because they are who, you know, just because the way they look, the way they smell, and all that it shouldn't be something that should be poked fun at, because, you know, a lot of them didn't chose to be homeless. A lot of them didn't chose to be a prostitute or a drug addict. You know, it's kind of stuff that people do when they're trying to find love and without Jesus Christ, and they made a mistake. Everybody is entitled to making a mistake, and you're still alive. And as far as you're alive, you still have that chance to make it right with Jesus, to open the door and let Jesus in your soul.
Yeah, exactly. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that listen to this, a lot of our fans who aren't believers, and I honestly, I still love you, and I would never be in a position where I'm going to judge you based on what you're doing in your life. And I just want you to know, like, I'm here for you if you ever need somebody to talk to. So to my atheist, my agnostic, to the people who are gay, to the transgender, like, I love you. And we can have a discussion and hope an honest and open discussion, but I just want you to know that I love you. And if you need somebody to talk to, come find me, hit us up in the Take Band LV. We'll have talks, and I'll be there for you.
Amen. You know, I love hearing that, John. I love hearing that there is still a light in this darkness that we're living in, and there still are people that still care about other people and still want to be there and show, because we're we're all in this together. I know I quoted a High School Musical song.
Yeah.
We're all in this together, but we are actually in this together. We're not a solitary entity. We're a group. We're the
and you
vines.
saw what happens. Yeah, you saw what happens when we do become solitary, man. And with the COVID stuff, it's a disaster. It jacks with you mentally and physically. It's a disaster. So, if you're struggling, I had somebody hit us up the other day. I was struggling with like suicidal thoughts and stuff, and I just was able to talk with them and point them in the right direction, because I have a lot of connections of, hey, I might not be a counselor myself, but I'm going to pour into this person and then say, hey, here's somebody that is a professional who can help you out in deeper ways than I can. But if you're going through something, then talk to me, because I've been as depressed as anybody can be. I've been on the verge of suicide. I've gone through a divorce. Like if somebody needs somebody to talk to, like hit me up. I've been there.
Yeah, definitely. They can hit up the Johnny Taco Show as well. Anybody from the show has, we all walked through a path that is like paved with nails and glass. Being a Christian doesn't give you a free pass where you're happy go rainbows and butterflies and nothing can stop you. You got money thrown at you and all that. Sometimes being a Christian is the hardest thing to do. It is hard because you live in a world who's slowly putting in the fact that God does not exist in people's heads and kids' heads.
Yeah.
And we have to be the forefathers, since we're older, and we have to set an example. We have to set an example and say, God is still here. God is alive. Here is what I've learned, because I'm always learning something new at church, and it's awesome to go to a church and get. I was like, oh, I didn't know that scripture exists, and we just need to be the. We need to pave the way for our younger generation so we can try to get it right.
Amen. See, you look at it, the more you talk, your voice is getting better and better.
Yeah, it does that when I start getting on the soapbox.
when you're preaching, yeah. Hey, do you just like tacos a lot, or?
That is my government name. I can't talk more about it because I was in the government. It's hush hush. No, it was just a friend said, if you're in the mafia, your name would be Johnny Tacos, because I was eating a taco. It was just it was something that was so small and obsolete and didn't mean anything. And then when I said, hey, I need a podcast, and they go, well, just Johnny Taco Show. And I was like, okay, that sounds awesome. So
I love that. I was really hoping that would have been your like God-given last name is Tacos. I mean, if you become big enough, maybe you should think about changing it, like that'd be cool.
Well, I kind of like my real name because it's German for angel, which is Engel. And
okay. Yeah, so, I was looking at that.
So it was German for angel. I kind of like that name. But the tacos, I was trying to do like a pin, have so nobody know my name, but I have everything linked to my personal stuff, so I have nothing to hide, But yeah, you should maybe open up a taco shop called Engel. Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah.
Engel's Tacos, because then it would be Angel Tacos. That would be awesome.
Tacos from heaven. So
yeah,
well, thanks, man. Thanks.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's okay. We're getting close to the end of the show. I want to thank you for being on the show today. It was very awesome. Like I said, please forgive me for me being sick. It really took a big chunk out of me for my birthday yesterday. So, but we're gonna rock out with Heaven or Hell from Take. So be on the take and listen to Take and have a cake and learn how to bake if you can't. Here is Heaven or Hell.